Hey guys, what's going on? This is Juan Murillo with Music Awards, and I'm here with a man who don't need no introduction, but you know the face, you know what I mean? So in case you don't know, Mr. Bino G, event director of the Tejano Music Awards. Hey man, appreciate you joining us.
Thank you, thank you, brother. Thank you so much for having me, and thank you for coming out to Angleton, my hometown. Not too many people come out here to this little sleepy town.
I didn't know it was your hometown.
Yes, my hometown. Yes, grew up here, born and raised. Yes, sir.
It's a party in there, man. It's a party in there.
It definitely is. I mean, this place, for the last month, we've been doing Tejano here, and it's like the people come in droves just to support the event, man. It's awesome.
That's great.
It's called the Dirty South, by the way, here in Angleton.
Dirty South.
Yeah.
Dirty South. Yeah.
It's not dirty. Don't. Everybody's dressed up, having a good time, but thank you for coming out here and doing this interview tonight.
Appreciate you having us. Appreciate you having us. You know, so obviously there's a lot going on. COVID, you know, took its toll on a lot of things. You know, especially in the entertainment industry. The TMA was planning a big old 40th year celebration.
Absolutely.
We're going virtual now, so can you tell us a little bit about that and how that's going to come into play?
Yeah, matter of fact, Fiero HD, which is Bo Corona out of Houston, Johnny Ramirez out of San Antonio, JD Bolillo out of Dallas, FieroHDRadio.com, the official radio station out of the Tejano Music Awards. They're going to be doing all the production for the 40th annual Tejano Music Awards, which is December 19th. Now, it's all, like he said, it's all going to be virtual, so it's going to be something totally different. I mean, we were expecting a big fiesta for the 40th anniversary, of course.
Yeah, I heard some of the things.
You know, due to COVID and everything, we're not able to do that, but at least we're going to continue the tradition of having an annual Tejano Music Awards. We are not officially done with the ballot. Somebody jumped the gun, started saying, oh, the ballot's out, this and that, but it's not. We will make the official announcement sometime this week, and we will have the industry ballot for the industry only. So let me tell you, there's a lot of artists out there that don't understand the process of what happens. Everybody says, oh, I'm already nominated. That's not true. What happens right now is the industry comes in, and this is the way it should happen. The industry comes in, cleans up everybody who actually nominated themselves, because TTMA does not nominate anybody. Okay. So this is the time to come in and say, hey, this artist doesn't belong here. No, don't wait until after the fact that we put it out to the public and then they want to come back and say, well, this artist shouldn't have qualified. This is the time that the industry comes in and cleans up the ballot. Okay. So out of this right now, we get a top 12 from the industry. Okay. With the top 12, we come back, send it out for the public vote. Okay. At the same time, you're still not nominated. Okay, this is the public vote. We cleaned up the ballot, sent it out to the public. The public votes for your top 5. When you're on the official top 5 category on each category, then you're nominated for that category. Okay, so that's
a thorough process.
There's a different, there's a thorough process. So unless you make the top 5 is then when you're actually nominated for that category. Okay. So once we do the public vote, we get our top 5. We've already got our winner at that time, which will be announced December 19th at the 40th Annual Tejano Music Awards. So that's pretty much how the process works.
Wow.
You know, a lot of artists come out, well, I'm nominated, you know, but you're really not until you make the top 5.
Yeah. I've seen the Facebook was just going crazy this morning. Right. Everybody just say, hey, I got nominated.
And it was just a test run. There was like 30% of what we actually had on the ballot out there.
But it's good to see people excited. It's good to see people
I'm glad, yes, because everybody's ready for it. You know, they've been waiting and waiting and waiting. With COVID and everything, we've been pushing it back as much as we could. And now we're ready to go ahead and get this underway. So hopefully this week, we're actually going to go ahead and get this ballot out for the industry.
So that'd be great. So definitely be looking out for that for industry insiders, and then the voting for the public will take place after the top 5 be
right. You get your top 12 on that, and then that's when you actually get nominated when you're in the top 5 of each category. So that's how it pretty much works.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I think you got to kind of school them, because back in the day the record labels took care of everything. Okay. Nominating the bands, they took care of everything. Now that the artists are independent, they really don't know how everything works.
Yeah. They just think hey, you know what, you jump right into it and just go with it.
So nobody's nominated until you're in the top 5.
Okay. Okay. Now, as far as the awards being virtual, we know who Bo Corona, Fiero HD and all that. Can you tell us a little bit about the show, how it's going to be? Is there going to be actual performances?
There's going to be actual performances. There's also going to be pre-recorded performances for the artists that can't be there. We're going to actually have our top 5 artists in each category be a part of the Zoom. So this way, you see the actual reactions from each fan.
Wow, that's good. That's going to be great.
Something different too is that we actually changed web hosts. If those that were having trouble prior to the nominations, they couldn't log in and the site kept crashing, we actually had to hire a new web host to come in and take over. So it's going to be a lot different. When you go on there, it's going to be a little bit more advance, I should say,
Advance.
for the awards this year. So once we get all the information from artists, their pictures and everything, you're going to be able to see the picture of the artist. There's going to be a little vote box for them next to it.
That's cool. That's
all the artists
cool.
are also going to be able to go ahead and sign up for a bio on our website and tell the fans a little bit about each other, and then of course they can go ahead and put all the information they want to on our website, and they can go on there and just press it and get all the information from our artists.
That's great.
It's going to be
People
awesome.
get to learn about these artists because people are hearing for the first time, and they're getting nominated, which is great. It's good,
Right. So we're slowly trying to update everything as we go right now. We want to go ahead and make sure that we have a email clientele to where, like, when we're going to do special events for our artists or just notifications for the fanfare or the awards, this way we can send out a total blast to just the artists themselves. I know all the artists are like, well, I usually get an email and this and that, but there's so many old emails that we have, and most of them get sent back. We don't even know who actually has an email.
Go through the spam folder.
Exactly. So that's what we're trying to do right now. We're trying to update everything as we go. I mean, we're taking this time right now to evaluate everything, and it's for the best. I mean, right now I'm seeing artists like Stephanie and seeing artists like Ellie that are getting sponsored by Ford.
Yes.
Hey, that's a big congratulations to both of them. That's awesome. We're starting to see the sponsors come back to the Tejano industry.
I was going to say, how do you feel about that? Being that you've been in the industry, not no disrespect to your age, because I know you just celebrate a birthday
46
too.
46 years old.
But seeing that, if you go back to where it was at before, and now these bigger names are coming, they want to be a part of the genre again, Ford, I mean, that's big, because that gives other artists the opportunity to kind of, be embraced by that too, but it opens more doors.
It really does. That shows me that the sponsors are actually looking back at the Tejano Awards again, as the Tejano industry, I should say, as it was before. I've always done research on how back in the day we had all these sponsors, airline, Southwest, and all these Coca-Cola, Budweiser's still with us, but it's like, what really happened to all these sponsors?
Yeah.
I really want to find out exactly what happened, but things happened in the industry before we actually came in and took over and started doing things. But my thing is, I really want to grow a rapport with the artist. I really don't want to know who the artist. I mean, I've called many artists during the COVID just to ask them, hey, how's everything going? Just to check on everybody. I think it's very important.
It is.
I mean, a text message is fine. But I think word of mouth, talking to you personally, it sends out a vibe to them like, hey, they really do care, and we do.
And that's great that it's trying to pave the way for a new era, a new era of the TMA, and, not just the music, but on a personal level, I think, and it's great.
And I try to tell all the artists one-on-one, hey, thank you for your support, everything that you do in the industry. I mean, it really does mean a lot to them. Even though, a lot of people say, oh, well, Tejano's dead, let me tell you, Tejano's not dead. I'm going to tell you, if you come to Fanfare and look at all the artists from all over the United States, because before, you never got these artists from out of state to be a part of Fanfare. It was always just here in the state of Texas. But you get all these artists from all over the United States that come in. Tejano to them is a different sound compared to us here in Texas. You go to New Mexico and you listen to them, you're like, oh, Tejano's a little bit different over there. And they come over here, listen to us, like, well, their Tejano's different over here.
Florida too.
But it's healthy competition.
Yeah.
And I love that, because even the Texas bands look at the out-of-state bands like, oh, look at these guys coming over here trying to take my time up on these stages. But it's healthy competition, in which I love that. I think it's needed to keep everybody on their toes in this industry.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping everybody's taking this time right now during COVID to evaluate everything that's happening. Hey, let's get out there and write new music. That's the biggest thing we have to do in this industry, is be original. I mean, we do a lot of cover songs. Don't get me wrong, they're great, but how many times can you actually hear a certain cover song over and over and over? Country music went through that at one time when they were going downhill. They had songwriters come out there and help them get out of that hole that they were in. And look at them now. The sound changes. I mean, look at back in the day, you had Hank Williams Sr., you got Jason Aldean, still two different kind of genres of music, sound I should say, but it's still country music. Yes. I mean, just look at Tejano music. If you look at, like cumbias, look at AJ Castillo compared to Fito Olivares. Two different sounds, but people love the new sound of cumbia. I mean, there's the sound changes and it's evolving every single year. So I mean, like myself, I had to get used to it. But at the same time, a lot of fans don't want change. They're comfortable about what happened back in the 80s and 90s. And that's where we're kind of at a standstill right now. That, even if we come over here with, let's say for Conjunto Romo, for instance, damn, they're a great band.
Yes, they are.
We can bring them here and people will be like, well, who's this band? You know, we're still in that era that the people that grew up with David Lee, Little Joe, and Hometown Boys and all that, they don't understand who these newer bands are because they don't really take the time to download the new radio stations with, you know, everybody's internet now. I mean you have FM stations out there that are internet as well. You know, so like with Fiero HD, BNet Radio, you have, you know, Top 20 with Rudy Trevino, which is awesome because that's one of the ones I really kind of look up to when I watch and see what artists are really making their way up every week on the Top 20. You know, with that being said, you know, we really have to start looking at different ways to explore ways of listening to Tejano music. You know, people say there's no Tejano music in Houston. Well, there's other options. It doesn't just have to be here in Houston. You know, so
and that's very good. That's very good.
Yeah, we're in a new era, you know, of technology nowadays. I mean, you can listen to anything you want to, you know, all over the place.
It's just like everything.
That's
you know?
right.
You don't have to sit in front of the
all cars are built in with Bluetooth, where you can listen to everything. You just got to find the right station you want and listen to, and that's going to get update you on everything. So, you know, my thing is, I'm so happy about the technology we have nowadays because, I mean, back in the day, if you wanted to hear from a band, I mean, you really had to go to a show and find out where they were going to be at the following week, you know. And now you just look on their website and they actually tell you exactly where they're going to be, or they're doing live videos during the day. Hey, well, I'm out here doing yard work, but the fans love that.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, to be personal like that. They see the other side of them, you know.
Right.
It makes them more lovable, you know, and that's just it. It makes them more lovable.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I think. That's what I feel, you know.
You know, like with Tejano Nation, that's what I love about them. You know, like with Henry and you guys, I mean, y'all are always out there trying to find out the scoop on what's really happening in the Tejano industry. Some artists don't like it because you kind of, you know, get in a little bit in debt about what they're doing, but it's a good thing though. I mean, all publicity is good.
Yeah, you have to get out there. That's the only way you're going to know things.
Right.
You got to, you know, get to the streets, get to the clubs, you know, be around all that, you know, get behind the scenes, know what's, you know, being said, hear what's being said, and, you know, just it's because it helps. You know, when it's all said and done, it's for the genre. It's only going to help the genre go.
Right. You know, and then there's a lot of haters out there that might not like, you know, Tejano Nation, Tejano Music Awards, but you know what? It's very easy to send an email or even a phone call. Hey, is this true what I'm hearing? Or hey, can you actually answer a question that I have? Instead of going out there spreading rumors, find out exactly what's happening before you go out there and open your mouth, because you know they love to talk and like to get hits on their Facebook, but it's embarrassing to them when they actually find out, well, man, I lied to everybody, and then they try to delete the post afterwards, you know. And but like I said, you know, in this industry, it's hard on its own self.
Yeah.
You got the artists who are actually battling against each other, and they shouldn't be about that.
No.
You know, we should all be working on it. If all the artists that are out there being negative, if they would put that into a positive, just imagine where we'd be at today.
You hear that?
Just imagine.
This didn't turn out to be an interview. It turned out to be the Tejano Music Awards Association State of the Union, you know, speech.
Honestly,
because
you know,
this is what needs to be said.
I mean, this industry could be a lot better if we would stop all this bickering amongst each other and just help each other. You know, it's like Shelly. I talked to Shelly earlier, and she was like, "I have never turned down a collaboration with any artist." That's awesome. You don't look at Pitbull, you look at J Balvin, all them. They all, I mean, these guys are making millions a year. But you know what? There's no jealousy amongst them. They want to make the biggest hit possible with everybody that they can. That's the way we should be. We should actually get together as an industry. And one day, I really would like to call all just artists, no road managers, nothing, and just TTMA, all them, you know, just all the artists together. Let's find out exactly what's happening in this industry. Let's just talk about it. You know, what does TTMA want from the artist, and what does the artist want from TTMA? You know, I think we need to do that.
That sounds like something that we need to make some moves and make that happen.
Right.
I think that's the thing that happens.
Yeah, I think we need to do that.
Yeah. Question mark, question mark, question mark. You know?
Right.
I know it's too early to talk about fanfare. It's way too early to talk
Due
about
to COVID, everything's spiking back up right now.
Yeah.
I've got people asking about commercial spots already.
Our
and when
continued
we're
prayers to all those, wear your mask. We don't have a mask.
Right.
We should have a mask.
We're separated. We're about 6.5 feet. It looks like we're closer, but yeah.
I think since you work in the industry and everything like that, like when you go home or when you ride in your car, I mean, I know you listen. I know you're over there listening to David Lee and all that.
Right.
Stuff, but who's some of your favorite artists? What's some of the music
that
you listen to?
Like right now, La Dez is really
good.
Yes,
yeah,
right. And it changes weekly for me. I listen, a lot to radio, and La Dez, man,
they do a really good cover of Tennessee. I know we talked about covers, but they do a really good cover of Tennessee whiskey.
Yeah.
Oh, they do. It's really, really good.
Right. Like,
really, really good.
You got Savannah Ocean, who won last year. I mean, all these artists. A lot of people don't even know that Savannah was on American Idol. Check that out. You know?
Fun fact.
Yes.
Fun Tejano fact.
Check.
Check.
But yeah, she was. I mean, that's pretty awesome that she's wanting to be in the Tejano industry. And my favorite category, and I've always said this during interviews, is best new male, best new female, best new group, because these are the guys that are going to be taking over once our established artists are gone.
Yeah, that's true. That's important because they're the ones that are going to take the reins.
Right. That's definitely right. So
that's take the reins. So last question. You talked about collaborations. What's the collaboration that you want to hear?
Wow, like, my collaboration, they're already gone already. I mean, that would have been Jimmy Gonzalez with Jimmy Edwards. I would have loved to have heard them do a collaboration, both of them. But I'm sure they're singing together in heaven.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
I would have loved to see both of those vocals in School Album.
Yeah.
But collaboration, I'm glad that we actually brought that back in. Because there's always vocal duo of the year, but you don't have bands that have vocal duo no more. It's always collaboration. So I'm glad we actually brought that back.
I thought it this morning.
Right. And also we have a lot of artists now are doing video. That's going to help our industry. Believe it or not,
it needs
video of the year actually helps. Yes.
We need more visuals. We need more visuals out there.
Yep.
We do.
And so I'm glad that we brought that back as well too. So, being that a lot of artists are out there working hard, want to do videos, classy videos. I mean, I've seen some this past year, like, wow, blew my mind. Like with Stevie D, with Freddie Records, they spent some money on that video.
Oh, yeah,
Did. Stevie D was all happy about everything, and I'm glad he was too. But, like I said, you put in what you think you're worth. Don't go cheap. This is
invest in yourself. Invest
exactly.
in yourself.
You have to. You really do. I mean, sometimes I hear music that's being sent in on a CD. There's no picture, no nothing. It's like you can tell it was recorded in the garage. It's like, how do I actually try to put this on the ballot? People are like, that doesn't even sound right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, really invest in yourself. You really have to. I mean, a lot of people don't really have the money to do that. But at the same time, find some sponsors out there. People willing to invest in you.
There's a lot out there. You just got to work at it. You literally have to put the effort out.
Right, you really do. You really do. So, with that being said, like I said, we're getting ready for the 40th Annual Tejano Music Awards, December 19th. It's going to be live streaming on Fiero HD, which if you can download radio.com every day. Johnny Ramirez, the old jock from KXTN, and of course JD Bolio, they have the morning show, and then of course Bolio in the afternoon. They're always doing trivia questions, just trying to go out there and just try to test the knowledge of how much Tejano history and I think that's pretty cool about them doing that. So they're going to be the producers this year, and I'm very happy to have them aboard. I think it was a long time coming already, that we should have actually been doing this a long time ago. Wow. So I'm just, like I said, we're ready for the awards to go ahead and come around. But like I said, the industry vote's coming. Then we're going to do the public vote, and then we'll have our top 5, which you're nominated at the time. When you make the top 5, you're nominated. So
fresh, innovative, TMA 40th anniversary, Bino G. You don't get no better than that right there.
Gracias, man.